This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.
Here we go. I got a special thing that I want to kind of show you before we get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
म दुईटा थ्याङ्क यू भन्न चाहन्छु एउटा त अफकोर्स पडकास्टमा आइदिएकोमा र दोस्रो चाहिँ मलाई साथ दिएकोमा थ्रु आउट माई जर्नी फ्रम काठमाडौँ टु दार्जिलिङ ग्याङ्टक एन्ड अल ओभर दिस साइड अफ द प्लानेट थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच एन्ड लेट्स गेट ब्याक टु द कन्भर्सेसन
Cool, pretty cool.
Thank you very much, man. And that river is called Tishta River. And I was listening to all your songs,
Yeah, okay.
majority of your albums,
Awesome.
especially the new one as well. And I was listening to the album from 2018 as well.
Awesome.
And of course, Nyano Ghar, everybody loves it. And thanks. I have a headset in my helmet. So when I'm riding, like I can listen to songs.
Yeah,
and since I knew that you were coming over, and I'd planned it accordingly so that I could fly back just for a day to come and catch up with you as well here.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for inviting me, and it's good to be here.
Thank you very much. And I was listening to all your songs, and it feels like home. Being very honest, all right. Your music feels like, for me personally, when I was writing, especially this leg that I was writing, where I was listening to majority of your albums, which I downloaded. I was writing from. So there's a place called Darjeeling.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. I know. Darjeeling.
I've heard about it. I haven't been
Yeah,
there.
it's beautiful. It's
lovely.
beautiful. I was riding from Darjeeling to Gangtok. Okay, so Gangtok is in Sikkim,
Okay.
and it's beautiful road. It's like it's such a fantastic road, and I was just listening to your music, and it felt so beautiful, bro.
Awesome.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it just touches your heart, and it was so amazing. Both the Nepali songs that you have, as well as the English songs that you have,
I mean,
especially your new album.
Awesome.
And thanks for giving me company, man.
Oh yeah, it's no, yeah, totally. I mean, that was the point of making those albums, and thank you so much for the compliment, and I'm glad you dig it.
I definitely do, and not just me. Everybody who are listening to the podcast right now, I'm sure a lot of friends are listening from Nepal, and a lot of friends are listening from around the world.
Yeah, totally.
We all are thankful to you for doing what you do. First of all, I want to start off by saying this, man. Thank you very much for doing what you do.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's not an easy life, but yeah, I choose it.
That's exactly what I wanted to start off by having a conversation about. How does it feel? How does it feel to be known by a lot of people?
I mean, sometimes it can get overwhelming, in a way. I mean, but at times it's just like, why we're making the album, I think, you want people to listen to it, right?
Yeah.
So, it just comes up to that, and I think, it's, it's uphill and downhill. You feel, you just have different perspectives about it at times, but, I think I'm grateful for it.
Wherever you go in the US, wherever you go here now, like a lot of people are already, they have an idea of who you are. How does that make you feel now in 2022?
I mean, I feel, I think it's about like, some of the songs I wrote, it's just like more like old friends now to me, it's just like old albums and stuff. But like people, I think people still, give the meaning to it, and I mean, they make it alive, So, I feel good about it in a way, but like for me, like, I think I like to keep on moving, because
Yeah.
making all the records and stuff, but so it's going back and forth sometime, but I try not to look back in a way, yeah.
The word when I use the word famous,
हजुर, yeah. Totally.
What does that mean to you now?
I mean, you know, there is a saying in Nepali, it's you can never know the man's fate, you know, and that kind of happened to be true in my case in a way. You know, I was just like sleeping in bed, you know, one night, and tomorrow I wake up, you know, and like, you know, I see my phone and stuff, like, and you know, before that night, it was just like, you know, some of the people I knew, we just used to talk, and like that's what I used to use phone for, you know, and now, and there's like whole world, you know,
Yeah.
on my phone, and you know, just like, oh man, you know, this is getting real, you know, like it was like kind of overwhelming feeling for me in a way, cause I didn't expect that in a way, you know, but I think it took me a while to process it, you know,
Yeah.
why and what. And but later on, I think I found some reasons for it, and you know, now I take it as it is, you know, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
The support that you got from your home country, I'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that, you know. A lot of people must be wondering how it feels to, and what it takes to get that overnight success.
Right.
Like you just said, you know, you're sleeping in your bed one day, you're a normal guy, you're busking, you've got an album out,
Yeah.
and you've got your music out, but let's say thousands of people are listening to it today.
Right.
And then next morning you wake up and then boom, millions and millions want to know who you are. You know, that transition within overnight.
Yeah, that's like, I thought it was just about like being yourself and being humble, or, you know, kind of, you know, just like I think about some songs, you know, just some great songs I've listened to. It's more like the truth, you know, like if you have like some truth on the song, and you know, rest of fictions, or you know, any stuff, I mean, it can turn out good, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it will have some power. So I was thinking it was just about that. I was just like trying to be myself on, you know, whatever I was doing, and like I think people could just relate to it, you know. When people saw that, it was like, hey, you know, this was like, you know, this is, you know, I think they saw, you know, me as I am, you know, in a way. And I think some people like find it hard to, you know, like just be themselves in a way, and it you know, it applies to me too, you know. At some point, like, I mean, it's just about like knowing yourself, or like, you know, just and stuff, you know. But I think it was just, you know, about that, you know, which like gave people away. It was like, hey, you know, it's real or not, right? And I think, you know, people saw what they saw in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of love that was shared from Nepal, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, that was totally unexpected in a way, but you know, I felt good about it in a way. Oh wow, you know, people really digs it, you know. And I was like, yeah, you know, I had like some amount of awakening in that point. I was living separate life, right? Like I was in States for a while, and I was doing my own thing and stuff. And it by that time it had been a while, like, you know, I was like just like being in the moment there, and you know, stuff, and that kind of woke me up in a way. Wow, like, yeah, you know, you can never leave your past behind, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, but I felt good about it, like totally. The support and all the love, you know, that was real and stuff.
How was the past, Dibesh?
I mean, the past, it means like, just like, you know, just like it was pretty good in a way, you know. I had like decent, you know, childhood and stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, go to school, you know, I was I grew up in the age like there was less technology and stuff. You know, I was outgoing and stuff. Like had friends, you know, all over and stuff. And so that was, you know.
That's
I-
you?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. And, you know, when I was in little and going to school and stuff. Yeah, in my house. And
Where did you go to school?
so I went to, you know, school like so close to my neighborhood. Like it was just like that was in the time when I was like there was this school called Ikeda International School,
Yeah.
and yeah, like that was, yeah.
Nice, man. How old were you at that time? The picture. I mean,
I
6,
mean,
7, I
yeah,
guess.
6,
something
7,
like that.
5, 6. I don't know. You know, yeah,
Holy
somewhere
shit!
around
That's
there. Yeah.
such a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
Are you still in touch with friends from school?
I mean, you know, all of the friends are in different path of life and, you know, doing their own thing. I mean, not necessarily, but at times I, you know, try to be, I think.
How is it growing up here?
It was, you know, like pretty wild, you know, you know, like I had my share in Nepal, you know, I think. And, you know, if I didn't had all of those things, like, you know, I wouldn't be who I am right now. And, you know, I think good or bad, you know, I take it as it is. And, you know, it was fun and, you know, it was wild too. Yeah.
When did you move to the US?
So in 2014.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You moved to the US in 2014.
Yeah.
You were like, give or take, very young. You were in your, what, teenage years when you moved?
Yeah, I was 17, 18 or stuff like that.
You moved, the family moved?
Yeah, my family were there and I completed my, you know, school and stuff here and just went there after that.
Finished your SLC and then you were like out of here.
I mean, yeah, school. I went college here too, so.
Oh yeah, where did you go?
Ace.
Oh yeah, you went to
Yeah.
East.
Yeah.
Yeah, how could I forget that? Did you play music in college? Plus two, I mean?
I wasn't serious, so music thing came like later to me, and I was a good listener, I think, till then. But I was doing, you know, music. I was singing and playing guitar, and you know, but I never took it seriously. I was more into like all the other stuff, like partying, you know, and going out and drinking and stuff. And but yeah, it later turned out like, you know, what I wanted to do was like music. You know, it was like.
Yeah.
And I had the good transition, like when I went to America, you know, and like I had a lot of time of self-reflection and stuff. And excuse me, and like that was the time I was like, yeah, you know, this is, you know, this is what is the, this is the way for me, you know, I think. And I kind of found like peace in that, you know, I made my peace
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Did you ever think that when you were in Nepal, you know, did you ever think you're gonna go to the US?
I mean, you know, like when I was a kid, yeah, I mean, you know, my parents were here too, and like for a while, and when they went there, like at some point, I knew I was gonna go there, you know, but
Yeah.
it was just a matter of time when.
So you were like counting your days before you went to the States. When you think about it, you know, when you're young, you're just
Yeah.
like counting your days. Like, okay, I finished my SLC, maybe I'm gonna go now. I finished I'm on my high school, I might go now.
Yeah,
So you're just trying to, you know, push through here so that you're gonna definitely gonna go there. So you were always thinking of a life in the US. When I think
Yeah,
about it,
totally.
right? How was that phase of your life?
So I mean, you know, I was living my life and you know, being present here at the moment, you know, when I was here, and I wasn't thinking that, you know, about US like until I got into flight, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the point when I thought, yeah, now I'm going to US, and that was it. And but like, you know, I knew some time ago I was gonna be there, and when I was like thinking of US, and you know, you see all these movies and stuff, like yeah, wonderful, right? And yeah, I had some good feelings, you know. I was just making all kinds of plans, you know. Oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna do there. This is what I'm gonna do, you know. And
What were those plans?
so yeah, the plans were just the same stuff I was doing here, but more in a managed way. Like kind of, you know, like I was into sports too. Like I played soccer, you know, played basketball and stuff. So those were the plans, you know. I think I was like, yeah, make some new friends, you know, play soccer, play basketball, you know, do cool things and stuff. And whatnot, you know. So yeah, that was kind of a plan, you know, but it kind of turned out to be all the way, you know. But I mean, it's the same thing, but like I just left the sports behind.
You decided that you're gonna take a break from sports.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I just like switched to music, you know, totally.
When you were growing up, like what kind of music did you like listening to? I'm not talking about playing.
Yeah, totally. As a listener, I kind of listen to all kinds of music, you know. I kind of listen to metal music too, you know, in a way, and I dig, you know, pop music in a way too. You know, it was like such a sensation, right? It was just so catchy melodies and stuff. You can't just, you know, I mean, leave it behind. You know, just like that is, you know, what people get social with, you know. And
yeah,
yeah, totally. That was the thing. So rather than that, I think I listen to some Nepali music too, you know. Meanwhile, and all kinds of music, you know. Like I had some brothers, they had CDs and stuff, you know. And I used to listen to those stuff, and yeah, pretty much that was.
I come from the older generation. I come from the cassette generation, and the first
Yeah, yeah.
cassette I bought in my life was of this band called Michael Learns to Rock. I don't know if you ever heard of this band.
No,
It's
I
called
haven't.
MLTR, Michael Learns to Rock, and they had this album called Paint My Love, and that was the first cassette I bought ever in my life.
Mhm.
I still remember the place where I bought it.
Yeah, totally.
Do you
Where-
remember?
Where did you bought it?
I bought it in Bodha, like nearby my place. There was a cassette store, and I saved up I think 40-50 rupees.
Okay.
It took me a while. I saved all that, and I went and bought the cassette. And I still have the cassette player in my house till today.
Yeah.
The player where we went ahead and like where I played that cassette. I still have the player though.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's pretty classy, you know. That's old school.
Someday I'm gonna bring it and put it in my podcast. I've been telling my father I'm gonna bring that and I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep it here.
Yeah, totally.
Do you remember the first CD you bought?
So the first CD I bought, yeah, I think I do. You know, but it was in the United States. Like, you know, I just used to get CDs from like, you know, pretty much like my cousins and brothers, because they had it, you know, and I was like, yeah, why do I, you know, I wasn't
Yeah.
even thinking about it, and I was, you know, still a kid, you know, and like I was more into like going out and playing with friends and stuff too. But
Yeah.
what do you do at the house, right? Like that was the thing, and like I, you know, and with in house, like that's how I, you know, when I went to like some cousins, relatives and stuff, like
Yeah.
that used to be a thing, you know, listen to music and get through CDs and stuff, you know.
Do you remember which one you bought in the US? The first CD you bought with your money?
Oh yeah, that was like I think the album by the Black Keys. It's called The Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
pull that out. I don't like this. Pull that up, X. Let's go ahead and pull out that.
Yeah, it's
CD.
pretty good album. You know, I think I dig Black Keys. Like, you know, I like their like recordings and, you know, the whole thing, like their music and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You know.
That's super cool, man. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's one of the great, you know, blues rock band from our generation. I think I would say that. You know, for me, that's
Yeah.
I think how I view them. Yeah.
You're inclined. When were you inclined mostly towards the genre that you kind of like right now? And you kind of this is it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is an album by the Black Keys. The name of the album is Brothers. I love it. Oh, this is cool, man. Yeah, this is super cool.
Yeah.
When did you start getting interested in blues?
So blues, I mean, so when I went to US, like my whole taste of music changed. You know, kind of. I was like just drawn into like different stuff, like, and then I started digging out like some old artists. You know, like I mean, who were like beyond our times and stuff, and those music were like so pleasant sounding. You know, it had like the vibe and like kind of the spoke the time in a way. And for me, and like I was getting into music and I wanted to do music, right? So like it was like some, you know, some easier stuff too, like, you know, if you talk about musical technicality, you know. So easier stuff, but like so good sounding, you know. It was like you know, mostly like you know, even though it was not of our times, I mean, it felt like, oh, you know, time traveling in a way, you know, kind of like but kind of I related to it, and I felt like related to it in some way, after all, I think it all comes out, from the same space or something like that, and so it was just like my the taste of music changed, and like I started listening to these old artists and blues and jazz. That's how I ended up in blues and jazz.
Oh, that's good, man. As human beings, we keep evolving. We keep liking new things.
Yeah, totally.
Like I was telling you off air, I never thought that I'd ever do this or do other things in life. Like you keep growing up and you keep evolving and you keep liking new things.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road you might tweak and you might go ahead and like do something slightly different.
Yeah.
Like within music as well, you never know.
Yeah, totally.
Things might change. Like things might. You might wake up one day and you might be like, hey, let me try something new.
Oh yeah, I mean that happens all the time. I think like I go, from listening to this and listening, not they're just listening to that, and I mean it would feel boring to be, just like the same way all the time too, right? Like we have to change in a way. So I mean, that's the way it is, I think.
We have to change and we have to go ahead and evolve. There's something that I kind of wanted to ask you, and I wanted to understand how you felt at that moment. All right, play the thing that I was just sharing with you earlier. Right, there is a specific moment. There's a specific moment when Luke Bryant kind of said something to you, and holy shit, I was like, oh my god, a moment for me when I was watching that back in the day. Like I can't even. Oh yeah, there you go. When Luke said, "Open for me."
Yeah, he said it.
Right?
Yeah,
I remember watching this. I know, and he.
Yeah, it was in 2019.
2019. When Luke said that,
Yeah.
You were what, 21 at this time?
Yeah, somewhat around there.
When Luke said that, Luke said that he's got a gig and, hey, why don't you open up for me?
Yeah, totally.
How was that moment?
I was like, that was the moment I felt like, oh, okay, I need to prepare some songs. Yeah, that's how I felt about it, totally.
When Mr. Ritchie came over and I guess he hugged you, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, totally.
How is that?
I mean, I was like, he just like walked up and hugged, and I mean, that was such a nice thing to do, right? So I was like, yeah, yeah, it was like not expected, but it felt pretty good, I think he digged it. I dig it.
And if I'm not mistaken, Katy Perry gave you a small suggestion of, hey, look towards the guitar or look towards us or something like that, right?
Yeah.
How is that?
So that was more like the thing, like just like maybe some experienced knowledge from her point of view. That was like, I think that was the way to connect to audience. Like I think that was some kind of advice. Yeah.
It takes a lot from a person to go up to a stage of that caliber, and give it a try. A lot of people want to go to a stage. I'm not just talking about American Idol. I'm talking about somebody who wants to go to a reality show, That journey.
Yeah.
It's a leap of faith too, And within you, I'm sure there's always going to be like, how is it going to be?
Yeah.
If there's always this, I'm sure, it's a question that I'm asking you. I'm sure it always haunts you, like till the time you're on that stage and you perform, for the first time, it's always going to be like, what are they going to say? How are they going to react? Is that the biggest fear? Or What is the biggest fear of standing in front of a stage? What was it for you?
There was part of nervousness, you know, like, I mean, you know, these are like some made, you know, musicians and, you know, artists, like, I mean, yeah, and there is that question, you know, what are they gonna say to you, you know, and stuff. And but I knew I was just gonna go there and do my thing, you know. That was what I was focused on. So, and you know, I just tried to keep my nerves down and just do you know, what I was there for, and pretty much that's what I did. But you know, in a way, like I think, you know, there was part of nervousness, yeah. You know, just like this question, what are they gonna say to you and stuff, you know. But I mean, later on, I think, you know, it is just the way it is. You know, people are people at the end of the day. You know, it's like people, you know, if you do good, if you do bad, like, you know, people would say things, you know, right? I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, but what do you do with it? You know, like, that totally depends on you, and I think that's the only thing you can control, you know, for yourself. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what I think about it, you know.
How was it one night before that audition?
No, I mean, it was pretty good. I think, you know, I was just at a different place doing, you know. I mean, one night before I was in LA, you know. Oh no, not in LA. I was in Wisconsin. That was in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, you know, and yeah, we were just like at bar hopping and drinking beers and stuff. Like that's what we were doing at that night, you know, night before. And yeah, and I knew tomorrow morning I have to wake up, you know, and it was pretty late night, you know. And yeah, I mean, I just kind of pulled it out somehow. Yeah.
You don't look sleepy at all, man.
Well, I mean, you know, I try to keep myself awake. Yeah, that's what I did.
The thing is, a lot of friends who are listening to us at the moment, you know, I'm sure a lot of them, not just musicians. I'm not just talking about somebody who performs, who is
Right.
at a very young age, who wants to be a performer. I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, in general, a young person who is maybe in their early, mid-teens, late teens, you know, who wants to go out and do something extraordinary, who wants to go out and who has talent, but who is thinking, should I do it? Should I try out my talent? Should I go out and pursue this? Should I go to not just a reality show, but should I, not a
Yeah.
problem, should I try it or not?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. Totally. I mean,
that jump, you know?
yeah.
What would you like to go out and say to that young person who wants to go out and do it, but doesn't have the courage to do it? Or is trying to sum up all the courage, you know? If you had to give that boy or a girl words of advice, what would you give?
Well, I would say, you know, it's your life. Do what you want. You know, I mean, probably that's the thing. If that's what you want to go for, like, you know, try it. I mean, you know, but you'd have to know everything is not for everybody too. You know, but hey, that doesn't mean that's impossible. You know, so I mean, totally depends on you. You know, totally depends on the person.
The way, the road till
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was, I'm sure, a difficult road.
I mean, definitely, you know, like musicians and artists' life is not an easy life, you know. Just like you just end up at different places at different times, you know, go places to places and stuff. Like, and it can get hard, you know. There's ups and downs. You know, at days like you have great fans at times, like some crowd might not like you and stuff, you know. But that shouldn't be the reason, you know, to stop. Like, you know, that's what I think about it, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's worth it, you know. I mean, as long as you love doing what you do, that's what matters.
When did you pick up your first guitar, Dibesh?
Pretty much, I was young, like, you know, so yeah, I mean, my, you know, mom bought me, like, you know, the guitar, like, And there was one brother of mine, and we just went to guitar store. You know, he used to play nice drums and stuff. He doesn't play it anymore and stuff. But you know, like so.
How old were you?
I was like kind of like 7, 8, around there.
Oh, where did you go?
So I went to like the store in like there's a place like there was this place in that place is called Jata or something.
Jata,
Yeah,
yeah,
there was
yeah.
like in like alleyways, you know, like gully. Nepalima भन्नुपर्दा.
Oh,
So there was just this store, and you know, we just went there, and I had this nylon strings, and I brought it home, you know, and I used to like just you know strum through it and stuff. And you know, so like yeah, that was the first experience of having a guitar, and I broke the guitar later on, you know, and stuff. And you know, so yeah, that kind of changed my direction too, you know. But I would still like listen. That was the time I was listening more, and you know, but we used to have bands and stuff like in my around my hometown too. Like I had some few friends, you know, and brothers. Like we just had bands, and we used to go play, you know, and stuff like just hang around, play, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, totally. We did that for a while, and in school too. Like you know, I was like circled with a lot of you know people who liked music too, you know.
Yeah.
So all my friends and stuff, and so you know, I had you know, I was always like you know circled with a lot of music, and I had friends like they used to say, "Hey, dude, listen to this song, you know, and that song," and you know, we used to share music and stuff. Like, they kind of still helped me to you know stick to music. But and later on, like I just you know switched and to different stuff, and you know, sports, and like I was still playing sports when I was young, and you know, still listening to music and stuff. But yeah, that was like pretty much the process, you know.
Yeah, man, totally.
Yeah.
Growing up in Nepal, again, coming back to this, a lot of people, a lot of young friends don't want to stay here. A lot of young friends want to go out and explore and see a different country or live in
Yeah.
a different country. You know, maybe they're gonna migrate, or maybe they want to go out and like go and study somewhere for a while, you know, for a few years, and maybe stay there or
Yeah.
maybe come back, you know.
Totally.
How is living abroad
I mean,
in your perspective?
in my perspective, I think like be ready for cultural shock, you know, like culture shock, like in a way. And rather than that, you know, it's just like you know, making home is like something else, but you know, you got to travel while you're young, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, while you have that energy and stuff, and like going to new places can teach you a lot of things too. You know, it's like big world, but it's small. It's one world, you know, in a way. I mean, there are so many countries, but you know, you don't have to stay at certain place or you know, stuff like I mean, right? I mean, you know, people it totally depends on your preference, you know. But like I mean, traveling is like not for everybody too, you know, because
Yeah.
like everybody doesn't have that free time, and it costs a lot of expense too, you know. I mean, when I used to travel, I just you know traveled. I used to make money just to travel, you know, like I'd work just to travel. Like that was because I wanted that, you know. It was like I didn't have a lot of money just to travel, but I worked for the travel. So that was, in my case, I was like that, you know. But everybody's not the same way, too, you know, right? Like some people just would like to stay at one place, you know, and call that their home. So you know, but as an advice, I think you know when you are young, I think that's the time to travel. You know, totally.
Yeah. Did you pick up the guitar so that it was a way for you to travel around in the US too?
Yeah, that became a way actually. You know, when I got like
When you were
comfortable,
busking?
yeah,
Yeah.
when I got comfortable with it, you know, I was like, yeah, I can, you know, and I can do this now, you know, and like I started playing and in some places and streets and you know started busking. You know, that's when I found out the thing like this is called busking, right?
Holy shit, where is this?
Yeah,
California?
No, that's in Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh, this is Maryland.
Yeah, it's a very nice, pretty town. You know, just like in summer, all the people from all over comes there, and you know, like it's a nice place to mingle and meet people, and you know, see a lot of stuff. Like there are people like doing arts, and all kinds of things happening.
So you moved to the US when you were in your mid-late teens.
Yeah. Totally.
Where did you end up first? Where did you
I
go
ended
first?
up in Kansas. That was the first place I went to. Yeah, totally.
Kansas City?
No,
Oh, no.
not Kansas City. It's like Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
that's where you were.
Yeah.
How was the first day in the US?
It was so nice. I got to reunite with my family, and they cooked a great dinner and stuff, and I felt like, like it was some kind of happiness, in a way. Yeah, it was good.
At that time, there was nothing. You were not near music at that moment, were you?
I mean, I was into music, I think I listened to music while the whole time I was in the flight too.
Were you playing at that time?
Oh, no.
You
I
were
wasn't
into
playing.
sports
Yeah,
and
yeah.
other things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't playing music, and I played some gigs before that too,
Yeah.
like some pubs and stuff. Like that was just like the starting era. That was the point. Like I was like, yeah, maybe I think I can do that too. I used to go see a lot of live bands in pubs and stuff, but maybe I could play too, and stuff like. And I wanted to try it out, and some of my friends were interested in it too, and so we've played few gigs before that. But we were doing a lot of covers and stuff, right?
What kind of songs were you playing here?
I mean, just like kind of the classic rocks, of like one of Creedence, Clearwater,
Yeah.
and a lot of those stuff, like usual song they play in bars and stuff here.
Where all did you play? Do you remember?
And there was this pub called like H2O in like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So that's the first place I played, and the guy just hired us for like a couple of gigs or stuff, and I mean he'd say, yeah, can if you want to, we just so the thing was like they didn't have live music there. They just opened the club, right? That was in the beginning of the club, like their opening, and we were the first band to play live music there too.
Oh,
so-
yeah?
yeah, totally. Yeah,
H2O? Do we still have H2O? I'm sure we still have H2O. And then where else do you play?
I mean, like, there was, I think, pretty much the place where I played in H2O, and like, I think maybe we played one time in this bar called Lhasa.
Lhasa, yeah.
Yeah, if I remember it correctly, but but it was just like the time I went to, just like few months, like around like maybe 5-6 months before I went to US, and I just I had that experience to play a few gigs.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
How many people in the band at the time?
So there was just like we had this like acoustic band, if you like to say so, because it was just like one Kazan player and bassist and one guitarist and me, just like 4-piece band.
Are you still in touch with your friends?
Yeah, like I met one friend like I was some time ago. They're like
What did they say? How do they feel about you being who you are now?
it's just like they feel I mean, we still feel the same way, but
Yeah.
like we're changed as a person and stuff. We do different things, but I think they're proud of it. In a way, like
Exactly.
but we are still. We grew up together, and we still feel the same way. I think.
That's so fun about old friends, eh? Like with old friends, it's
Yeah.
still the same.
I
It
mean-
doesn't matter who you are now.
Yeah. I mean, it does actually. Actually it does. Like, cause you have new perspective, like but like there is that feeling, right? Like, oh yeah, we I used to know this guy like when I was young and stuff, and like we grew up together, and like there's still that mutual bond, with them, but like but we are in the present too, and we kind of have to be in the present too, in a way. So there is a little bit of differences, but there is more amount of similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I think about it, old friends are like, tomorrow I'm meeting my very close friend. In school we were not that close, but later in life we became super close.
Mm.
And I really like him and his wife and his daughter, and I'm going to the birthday party. And I was thinking about it, on this ride, when I was riding
Yeah.
across India and Nepal. I was thinking about it. I was like, with old friends that you grew up with when you were like little, you know,
Yeah.
and you grow up with those people, the bond that you have is completely different than people that you meet now in your life, you know, in your like, now it's different.
Yeah.
But with those friends, like even if you see them today, you're still gonna be like, hey, kaise yaar?
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, you
right.
can
Yeah.
pick up from wherever.
Yeah. It's like, that's your comfort zone, just
Exactly.
like, I mean, in a way, just like, yeah, that's how it feels, that I hear you. I mean, that's very mutual feeling. I mean, I feel the same way about some of the old friends, I grew up with and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's so true. How does it feel to go back? Did you go to Tamil? Have you been to Tamil yet?
Oh, no, not yet. I
No?
mean, we still have, tight schedule and stuff right now, and we have few amount of time to, like, just get around by ourselves, but...
Yeah.
But I think eventually, maybe.
Yeah, I'll get to why I asked
Yeah.
you that. So you were in the US and then you ended up there. Mom, dad cooked dal bhat.
Yeah, totally.
When did you decide that? All right, let me just give it a shot in music. Let me just go ahead and try to play some music.
So that was the time, like after I went to the United States, like I just had a lot of time to myself, and like that was like most of the time I did like self-reflection, what do I want to do in life now, And I was working and stuff too, but rest of the time, I mean, I bought myself a guitar, and I have to thank my family, I really feel grateful for having the family I have, because they never kept like so much pressure on me to do certain things, They just watched me, just like from back, just like kind of, yeah, what are you gonna do, kind of stuff. But they kind of give like big amount of moral support,
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the time that I just had like self-reflection, I did a lot of self-reflection. So, like, and I used to just like, spend a lot of time playing guitar and stuff, learning new songs and stuff. And at some point, like, that was like, and I started going around and meeting people, and like it was the way to communicate with people and relate to people. So I started doing open mic nights at, some point, like when I was comfortable playing outside, and I met like a lot of musicians, I started making friends and stuff. And so, yeah, it happened to be the way of life then, and at some point I just realized it, oh wow, like, this is what I'm doing right now, and what you do is what you are,
Yeah.
And then, I kind of went through like, okay, I mean, and it just like, I got kind of, into it. Like then it was, I couldn't look back like after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like what you said right now. What you do is what you are.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it becomes part of you, I mean.
Yeah, man, that is so true, right? That's so, God damn it, that's so true, man. When I think about it, because, yeah, when you think back, when you think about it, holy shit, I've been doing this for so many years. I've been doing this for 15 years. This is who I am.
Right.
Yeah, holy
Yeah.
shit. When you just said it, it hit me too. The thing that I want to jump into is busking. That's
Yeah.
such a big culture in the U.S. It is a part of
Yeah.
the free society that
Yeah,
the
totally.
United States has. They call the U.S. the land of the free. Did you feel
Yeah,
free
land
in the
of
U.S.?
opportunity, yeah, I mean, and that's so true, I mean, I think there is that thing, like it's like you can pretty much, succeed on like anything, any kind of categories or any kind of, yeah, I mean, that's the free, that's so-called freedom, I guess, if you want to be professional athlete, you can, have like huge amount of success in it,
Mhm.
right? I mean, if you want to be musician, you can do the same thing. If you want to be architect, you can do the same thing. If you want to be engineer, you can do the same thing. And any kind of fields. So in a way, like I think, it is a land of opportunity in a way.
Did you feel that you have a lot of opportunities, and did you felt more free when you were there or when you were here?
I mean, about freedom is like, it's like, I think we have some kind of more amount of freedom here too, I think more than US, in a way. Like you can, but it's just matter of being systematic or, not. And the freedom totally depends on you, it's like the point where you feel more ease, where you feel like at ease and where and when and I think it's just a matter of that, about being free and freedom. We're only free to some degree, in a way too.
Yeah. At the end of the day, do you believe that we need to be free within? Like
Yeah.
free here?
Yeah, totally. I think that's more important, within and mental freedom. That's totally that's the thing you have to explore, as a human being and as a living beings, right?
Did you get time to do all of that?
I mean, I'm still learning, I'm
Exactly.
still processing and learning because, like, I have long ways to go, a whole lot of things
course.
to do, whole lot of time to live and stuff, So it's always learning process, but I got time to, like, think about it at least, Before I was not much of thinking, man, I just
Yeah.
used to go, then, do this, that, like this. But then and I started, a little bit thinking for myself,
When did that
Stop.
happen?
So that happened like pretty much, yeah, when I had some time to myself, it was just like,
Once you went to the US?
yeah, after I went to US and stuff and, at some point and like as I started growing too, and like learning different things and traveling and stuff, like, so at some point I had to realize that, like,
Yeah.
because it's your life and you have to live it the way you want and you have to figure it out for yourself and for those things I think it comes to the point of having going within and like figuring out things for yourselves.
Yeah. How was it growing up with 4 sisters?
So it was lovely, I think I got spoiled, so much love. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, I think I call myself lucky on that point of view. Because I had like, brothers with like cousins and stuff like, but, with sisters, it's just like much more of love, but still there is like sibling things, like you go through all this stuff and I share stuff with my sisters too, and I mean, I just like, I'm just the way I am with like pretty much, anyone if I can be, like,
Yeah.
So that way. And so, yeah, but it was lovely, I think I call myself lucky for that. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the youngest among
Yeah,
the
yeah,
4?
yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
youngest
that's why I
one.
was spoiled,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, I like that. No, but this zoom in aligati. This bike is like a really like I don't know how to explain it, but I think for me personally, 400cc is the sweet spot here.
Yeah.
Like 400cc man, it's like you get the power to overtake, but you're not that fast either. So you're kind of okay with the roads here.
Yeah, totally.
But in the US, like 1,000 is like a good solid number. Just to like some I
Yeah,
don't know.
totally. I mean, like, so I had like Harley, right? Like, and with this 1200cc, and there was this guy like who's he works and all this stuff, and we just hang out sometimes and stuff.
Yeah.
And he had Ninja, which is 600cc.
Which one's Ninja is the 600, ain't it?
Also, Ninja Kawasaki or something.
Oh, hold on. This is the
1200 Sportster.
so this is the one that
Sportster
you
Axle.
own right now.
Yeah, that's what I ride right now. I think I would upgrade it to like more CC like at some time, but
You want to change it? Oh, you wanna change it to what?
Just like more like FXR, like lowrider or something, like a little bit, because it has like more gear, and like it has like a little bit more power and stuff.
Yeah.
So you could go a little bit, more smoothly on the highways and stuff.
Do you have to wear a helmet in Wichita?
Not necessarily. I mean, but you would be recommended. I think I think it's good to like for everyone who's riding. Yeah. I mean, I think I would recommend the helmet. Yeah.
I still remember. Yeah, I was in. I can't remember which state I was. Which city I was in. I know.
Awesome.
People are not wearing helmets, man, in the highway, and it's so crazy. Like you got a hat on, and then you're just riding. You're going like I don't know, miles or kilometer mala aunदैन हैन. I'm not good at
60, 70 miles like per hour.
I think that's like 100, 120 kilometers per hour. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and you just keep that speed up, and like, cause it's like more free road and stuff too. So you'd end up driving fast at some point.
Yeah, man.
Getting those thrills, like riding those air and stuff.
I know, man. It's crazy. Asti when I was riding, so it's so crazy. What we did was me and my brother, we went from here to Kakarvita.
Awesome.
Have you ever been to east side of Nepal?
No, I haven't.
God, you should go, man. It's so beautiful. We went
Definitely
to
love to.
we went to Janakpur.
Awesome.
From here, Bhaktapur हुँदै we went to Janakpur. It's
हजुर.
so beautiful, man, the roads. And then from Janakpur we stayed overnight, and then we went to Dharan.
Awesome.
You need to go to Dharan. Oh, you're traveling, ni? Concerts are happening. Ni?
we are trying to do our best to get into some of those places.
You guys have Kathmandu, Chitwan, Pokhara, and Butwal, if I'm not mistaken,
totally.
so far. Bro.
I think Dharan is on the list too.
Dharan is on the list
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Man, people are so hospitable in Dharan. We went to Dharan, and then as soon as we got there, like we felt like home. Like
Excuse me.
right away, we felt
Yeah.
like home. Man, it's so beautiful. And then, of course, we crossed the border, and then we went to Darjeeling. And if you ever in your life get time, then I saw some kids who were not exactly busking, but busking at the same time. Can I show you? Can I show you a video?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
But again, they're not. They're rapping in the main. So this main choke called. This choke is called Chaurasta, in Darjeeling. It's a beautiful, beautiful big choke.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying it correct. And it's called Chaurasta.
Saurashtra.
And then as soon as I got there, we parked our bikes, and then it's a pain to park your bike in Darjeeling apparently, and your car. But we figured out. We got to the hotel, we parked our bikes, and then we started walking. Me and my brother, and we went to this place called Chaurasta in Darjeeling. And then as soon as we got there, I'm not even kidding with you. There were kids who had a box or a guitar case open. And they were like rapping, and they were collecting. I sent you a video. They were collecting, I think, funds for a friend of theirs who is in a reality show in Nepal.
Oh wow, man, that's really lovely. That's hell of a support.
And I was like, holy shit, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about you because you were coming over, and then I was like, I never thought that I'd be showing you this video, but I was just like, man, yeah, I'm gonna tell him about these kids who are busking in Chaurasta, Yeah, there you go. Young kid, man. Look at that. Oh, there you go. He has the guitar case.
Yeah. Where's the guitar though?
I don't know where the guitar is. Show the other video, I'll show the other video as well. And I was like, it's not bad at all. This is how you go at it. It's so cool for me.
I mean, yeah, I think like, in my time in Nepal, there wasn't thing like busking or stuff, But now these days, like I've seen so much of busking and stuff too. Like last time I came to Nepal in 2018, I met like few travelers from Mexico here and there, and they came to Nepal with guitar and, and they're busking and doing their thing. And now, I heard about this guy Alex Nepali, you know, and he's doing same thing too. And
Yeah.
like I think it has been now like, you know, such a growing thing to do, and you know, it's such a good thing to do too. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Open Dibesh's Instagram X. I kind of want to know how it was. Oh yeah, there you go. There's the other kid who was rapping too, and I found it super cool, man. Dibesh ko Instagram खोला था. How was busking in the middle of town? How did that feel? सबसे माथि जाओ त. Let's show it to everybody. There you go. The second.
Oh right.
The second one. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, there you go. How was this, bro? How did it feel?
So, you know, I think it was pretty good, you know, like the crowd was really receptive and, you know, like I didn't kind of expected that, you know, just like, and they were more into it, you know, they were like really into it. And like, so most of the people knew the songs too and they were singing along, you know, in some of the songs. I had this like flashback then, you know, I was feeling nostalgic, like, right, I was doing this thing like in 2017 or so, you know, and after such a long time, I think I performed on the street, you know, and like did again the busking, you know, and it just got me nostalgic in a way, you know. I think this is how I started, but I never really busked in Nepal, you know, so this was my first time, so I was like, you know, it was very nostalgic,
How many
very
songs did you play?
memorial. I just played like 3 songs.
You played 3 songs.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you played Nyano Ghar, people just went like,
Oh yeah, they went crazy, you know,
yeah.
like they were singing louder than me, so I was like, yeah, man, this is it, you know, I think this is the energy, you know.
Wait till you go to all the places. You're playing at Platinum, and then you're playing at all the
Oh,
places.
yeah.
And trust me,
I hope they will all be receptive as much they were in like Basantpur, you know, like, so yeah, that would be really lovely.
No, it's gonna
I'm
be
stoked for
amazing.
it, you know, I'm excited for it, and like I have my band members here too, you know, from Los Angeles, and it's been such a wild ride and adventurous thing, and you know, cultural thing for them too. So I'm so excited, you know, to take them and like, you know, play in like all the places.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're super psyched. The thing in 2018 when you came here and you were telling me, is it okay if I just share with everybody
yeah.
about Purple Haze, right? When
Yeah,
you
yeah.
came over in 2018, before you were super famous.
Yeah, totally, yes. I remember it, you know.
Tell everybody that you played at Purple Haze before you became super famous. How did that
So
happen?
like it happened like when I was doing this thing, like, you know, I made my first album, right? And like, what do I do with it, you know? And because in States, like I could sing Nepali song, you know,
Yeah.
like, and if I busk with those songs, like people would just like, oh, wow, what is this? And then where is this from? And what is he, you know, singing about? And what is he talking? And so like that's why like that thing, you know, I got an idea, like, you know,
This is the first album,
yeah,
Grahan.
Grahan, yes. So I was like, well, you know, I made the album, right? And I was like, I need to play it, you know, like people need to hear this live. So I just had this idea, and like in a matter of month, I just decided I would go to Nepal, you know, and like find as much as gigs I could, and you know, just do it. And then I made some like people, you know, like, and who kind of helped me get through the, you know, find these gigs and stuff, like people from BNC and like you know, in Zomskil. So those people kind of helped me to get some gigs, and they got me, you know, they made some CDs of my, you know, Grahan, the album,
Yeah.
and kind of, you know, that's how it started. And then I ended up in Purple Haze, you know, in one night, and like I played in between sets of the band for 30 minutes or so, and yeah, and that was my first experience playing in Purple Haze. But I was, you know, I was going to those places. Excuse me. Like, you know, in weekends and stuff, like
Yeah.
before that, like, but I was just like, you know, more into like just, I was going as an audience in private and like customer for the, you know. But that was the night I was like, you know, I performed there, and I really dig the whole thing, you know. What is it about, like the sound systems, and the sound engineer there was like really, you know, receptive about music. You know, he kind of just like he had no idea who I was and what I was gonna play, and I had no idea what he's gonna make out of my music. You know, but he kind of just did it. You know, so it was a really good experience.
Like I was telling you before we sat down for the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Just go, man. Fuck it. Just play.
Just play, yeah. You know.
Go back to Purple Haze, bro. Don't tell anybody.
I mean, like, I think, you know, yeah, we're trying to work out, you know, we're trying to get the gig there, you know,
Yeah.
like, there's some people, like, management team from the management team here.
Swapnil, if you're listening, Ashokda, if you're listening, come on, man, make it happen.
Yeah, we're more than ready, you know.
You know, I'm sure it's gonna be a completely different experience when you were playing back then, when you were like, you know, you're just kicking it off, and now like playing it there. I'm telling you, I'm sure it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be really different experience.
I've never hosted a gig in Purple Haze, and I'm gonna open it up for him.
yeah, cool. Yeah, it'd be, you know, such a nice thing to do, and you know.
It's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah.
I hope Purple Haze really happens, man, because त्यो कस्तो हुन्छ भने you it's such a funny thing, right? Now you're super famous, right? The thing about even like, of course, you're coming back now. You're super psyched about performing in so many different places, right? What is going through your mind now? Like, what do you expect from the audience now? Is there any expectation that you have?
In a way, I do. In a way, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, in a way, I think, because after the, you know, this thing, like, after, like, I, you know, happened to be, like, you know, big senses and among all the people, like, that's when they started listening to my music, you know. And that was the time, like, all, you know, most of the people, like, listened my albums and stuff. And now is the time, I think, like, they will get to experience it live, right? And all the time, like, till now, like, I've only received love and, you know, support from them. So much of love and support, you know, just like, hey, I dig this song, you know, I dig that song, I love that song. But that's why I think, like, you know, it's the time, like, they should be hearing it live too. And, you know, I feel grateful, and, you know, that I will get to play it live for them. And the expectation is, like, just like, you know, I hope they would, you know, listen it live, like, and try to grasp it, you know, and, like, be receptive about it, you know, and, like, just enjoy it. But, you know, meanwhile, they can do whatever they want, right? So that's, you know, the thing about a little bit of expectation and not having expectation.
What was your expectation from the audience in the US and audience around the world? Because American Idol is not just an American show; it's a world show.
Now it is.
Right? Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
It's not just the stardom that you get is not just in the US. The stardom is you get it all around the world.
Yeah, people are watching from all around the world. Yeah, that's true.
The stardom that you got, you know, from American Idol, you know, how do you take it in 2022 now? And, you know, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm the lucky one, you know, in a way. Because I got to be where I am right now out of so many people, you know, like, so many people were doing the same thing I was doing, right? And, like, when I just went to the first audition, there were, like, thousands and thousands of people. And just getting through that first round, you know, stuff, like, I was like, whoa, you know, this is, like, and that's just from one particular state.
How does that work, though? How does American Idol work, though?
I mean, like, it's just, like, about going, you know, to audition, and they have their own thing process, and, you know, it's just like, I mean, you just go through it, you know.
To make it in that center stage with the three judges. Before that, I'm sure you had to go through, like, a lot of other things.
I mean, yeah, there's a certain process. There's a certain process for it, you know. You just have to go through, like, certain process and lots of, you know, singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, and then you get a
You
ticket
get to
to
see, you get to perform in front of judges, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
the reaction of the people of the world, and I'm gonna throw in America in there.
Yeah.
But of course, it's American Idol, right? The reaction of people who loved you, who showered all the love
Yeah.
from not just the US but all around the world.
Mhm.
You know, at that moment, I'm talking about it's COVID time.
Yeah.
It's crazy time. The world was in middle of chaos.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody was sitting at home. I still remember watching your gig, when you were doing it from home with
Oh,
the
yeah.
lights in the background,
Yeah, yes.
beautiful lights in the background, And I believe your parents helped set that up for you as well.
I think, yeah. I think I gotta hand it to them too. I gotta hand it to family. Like we just had, lots of time like together, and like we just had some fun time, like setting up the whole thing in space, and like working with this technologies and stuff, and setting it up. So yeah, I gotta hand it to them.
At which point did you think that once you got to top 10, how did that make you feel? Achievement wise? Or is there any kind of like.
Yeah, I felt like, it was such a ride, it was such an experience to get to be in top 10 or top 20 even, like that was like a long time, and a lot of experiences through, just to even get till that point. And, that was the point I was, pretty much swept away with all the supporters, and I think all the fans, or what you would call them, still like that was the time I was like, yeah, this is like now more than real. I think I have no choice, like there's no going back. Now I'm into it. There's no going back. Yeah, that was like pretty much the time I think I realized like probably this is something I asked for at some point, so I am, now I'm here, I think I have to grasp it.
You dreamt of it?
More like, I didn't dreamt of it that way,
Mm-hmm.
but I dreamt of like being, having my music and having records and playing music in a different way. Like, so I was thinking, I would move to this place called New York, and like go in Cafe Wa and, like play in some these legendary venues, and at least, have some, gigs and stuff. But like, it just happened in the opposite way, I just even realized how, how did it happen? It just like happened, just right away. It just happened, and just like, now I'm going through it, like I think this is what I, kind of, this was something maybe what I was asking for at some point,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it didn't work that way, then this worked this way, and so, like there are so many musicians and so many albums, and like there is so good albums and, stuff like good music too, like which there aren't more listeners for it. And but with me, I had few music, but like I had more listener at that point, right?
Yeah.
And now and that's the thing that gave me the drive, to go forward. Just like like I think this is what I was asking for. Now that's why I feel lucky about it. Just like I have the people listening. Now like what do I do, right? Like then that's what still motivates me now. Like I think that's why I still do what I do. And I think I'm still gonna do it. No matter. I mean, even if I have few listeners tomorrow, I think I'm still gonna make records.
You do it for that one person who listens to you.
Yeah, I mean, I do it for me, I do it for the people, yeah.
This is such a you'll not always win in life, right? it's not, they say that it's not, never about winning. It's about the experience and the
Yeah.
journey, like you shared as well, right? How was that moment when you were like, okay, well, I'm not going to be the next American Idol, but I got through here. I got
Yeah.
till here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the experience was like the biggest thing in my life.
Yeah.
How was that day?
So that day was I was having celebration. That was the day of celebration. You know, I think like I was happy where I stood. You know, even
Yeah.
as a runner up, like I was like that was a huge achievement, and that was you know the point. Like I was like you know I made it. I made it. You know, I was like I think, and yeah, that was nice. I just celebrated. You know, I think I just celebrated. You know, like there was some people, you know, including that are close to me in a way. You know, I mean, we spent some time together and stuff, and they came in, you know, stuff like, and with the family too. Like it was more like you know, family gathering, but like we all kind of celebrated, you know, just the joy of it, to getting where I am, you know, at that point. And I was like, yeah, man, I made it in a way.
In the biggest platform, in one of the biggest platforms in the planet.
Yes, yes, yes. And I feel grateful for it because like that was the experience that taught me about music industry. You know, it's like so much of in music industry, it's not all about music. Sometimes you just have to, you know, be able to do what you're doing too. You know, I mean, because like while you're doing these big tours and stuff, like there's so much more of the things than just the music. You know, and you'd have to be able to keep up with it. You know, so that was the experience that taught me all about these things,
Yeah.
and I feel grateful for it in a way. You know.
What happened during the comeback twist?
In the comeback twist, like I think it was sort of unexpected in a way, you know, but like that was the offer I couldn't refuse, you know, and I just went along, you know. I mean, I think, you know, and yeah, it was the offer I can't refuse in a way because the fourth season with like rest of the season happened in from the house, right?
Yeah.
And in the next season, they did it in the Hollywood in their states, you know. I mean, and so yeah, I thought like you know maybe this is the experience like I think I should get to, and
Yeah.
like there were like few other contestants too, like you know they were all going for it, and like I just you know it just happened to be me again, you know there, and I kind of just like you know tried to do the best I can, but you know it was definitely different, you know, because
Hmm.
it was just like jumping into something, you know, just like you go for like biking, you know, then like you just feel, oh yeah, that's nice sun out here. Now might as well go to swimming, you know, like those kind of thing. It was just I just kind of jumped into it, you know, and I think I just got jumped into it, you know.
You were not ready for it?
I mean, it was like cause like it is a process, right? Like you start from the beginning and you know go through this round, that round, and you get to perform on the stage, you know, and stuff. But for me, it was like you know that was like I had a whole time of you know not performing after the first season, and it was just like now I need to get myself ready for this, you know. But still, I just tried to do best I could, you know, and I was like, yeah, this is an opportunity, you know. I think I should take it, and maybe, and I just did what I could with it.
Right towards the end, you changed your mind, right?
Changed my mind. What do you mean by that?
Like in a sense, like when it comes to performing as well, you know, like you were like you decided to go ahead and like you know perform,
Yeah.
you know, and as being a performer, you know, like when you take a break, like going back on stage, how is that, like you know?
So yeah, like that is the point I think. Oh, excuse me. So that's the point I think you realize about like what a break can do, you know,
Yeah.
and like I mean for good or bad. I mean, but like that was the point I. So past like I was just like you know like doing it my way, and but that was the point like I was doing it like you know, and someone else's way, right?
Like a commercial way.
Yeah, I mean, in that way, yeah, commercial way. So that was an experience. I got to learn new things. Then I was like, oh, there is another this sector, that sector, and like how whole thing about the industry, like how like there's not only one person doing it. You have to go get dressed, and you'd have to meet these people for do this and that, and like so yeah. I mean. So yeah, that was the point too. Like I just like learned about it. It's not all about performing in music. There are different aspects to it. Yeah, that was so it. About it.
That was so new at that point. And now, like in 2022, like now when you think about it with music and with the new album as well, like signing with labels, going on tours, like have you been working on that as well?
No, I haven't. I haven't been signed to any labels, or I mean, there's no any such plans for it yet. I mean, I'm open to offers and stuff, with the labels and stuff, cause like it's different thing working with the label and it's different thing on your own way, But I think it'd be a good experience working for some label for a while. But I mean, yeah, by now I think I feel pretty good about where I am, and I think I got to learn how to make records and stuff, So now, it's just about like making records, And I think that's all this knowledge and wisdom brought me here, like to this point, and like now I think I know what I'm doing, Totally.
With the new album, tell me, how do you sleep at night?
Tell me, how do you sleep at night? So this new album was, the songs from some new old songs and new songs. I had written some songs like way back, and some songs are just like just came, just right on the moment of making the album. And we worked pretty hard on it. We just like went from like evening to the morning to recording all the stuff and having sessions in the studio, and it was like kind of graduation for me, like going into the studio and making music in the studio, Legit studio. And I got to record like in the good studio. It's called 4th Street Recording in Santa Monica, California. So, I saw like some legendary bands and stuff too, who recorded there in past and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, we had fun. Though it was hard work, but we had fun. Like it was, quite a process. Yeah, we worked on it for like a month or, more than that, and came up with the album. Then we had 14 songs for it, but I just released 12. And yeah.
The day that really hit you that, holy shit, the whole planet has heard my voice. When was that?
It was just right after the first audition,
That's it, right?
Yeah. That was like, yeah.
And now with this new album, what's the response like?
With the
What do
new
you expect?
album, like I think people are just still taking time to listen to it, That's what I think is happening. Because, like, and people are trying to grasp it, all this stuff. Because they listen to my, like, old music, Nepali music, right? Then there's some covers. And now this is, like, some own original music, which is written in English. And I think those people are trying to, grasp the feelings of the thing. After all, it's all about it, It's about, like, the feeling you get, like, when you listen to music. And yeah, I think now, just like people are waiting on more music, I think, and still listening to the album, and grasping it. I mean, like I've heard, pretty good amount of people saying good words about the album, but some people like are still like listening to it and stuff, So, and yeah, it's doing its own thing, Just put out the album there and people listen to it, and it becomes its own thing.
I'm thinking about the song called "I Took a Pill in Ibiza." Ever heard about that song?
No, I haven't heard that song.
There's a song called "I Took a Pill in Ibiza." Mike Posner.
Okay.
And then he wrote that song. He sang that song in the guitar.
Yeah.
And then Avicii took that song, if I'm not mistaken, and then went ahead and, it became a sensation all around the planet.
Oh, wow.
The late Avicii. I love that. I love his music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now, when you think about it, I follow the guy, and he's a gem of a guy, and he travels the world and does a lot of things, right? One song makes you blow up like crazy. That happened to him, right? That one instance of being in that audition, and making it happen, and all around the world, people loved you and love you till today, and will love you forever. At least I will.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
When you go through that overnight, how are you gonna maintain it? What goes through your mind? Like I'm gonna maintain that hype that I have, Like, you kind of getting me what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
How
totally.
am I going to keep maintaining it? Is it going to be, how am I going to keep creating that hype, Like, do you ever think about that? Does that ever cross your mind?
I think, that's the important thing. That's such a good analysis. Just like it's not just about making it, right? It's about maintaining this stuff too. When you make some habits, like it's not about making the habit, it's about keeping it too, like some good healthy choices and stuff. And it's the same thing. I think I take it in the same way, but there are ups and downs. It's just like it can't be the same all the time. And you have to be ready for that. But maintaining is like I think you have to have some good team for it too. At some point, like you can only do so much by yourself, but with a good team, I think you can do a lot. And if you have a good team, like you can make like healthy balance about maintaining those things. But so that's the whole thing about it. But even with the good team, you can have ups and downs. But you have people to go through it with. But like, that's what I think about it. So maintaining is it matters to some person. It doesn't matter to some person. And so there's whole different perspectives. So at the end, what I think about is like, I'll give my best at it, and I'll do what I keep on, what I love to do, and I'll just keep on doing that. I think and whatever happens with it, I think that's what happens.
Yeah. There's since both of us, we love motorcycles.
Yeah.
I forgot who said this, right? I completely forgot who said this, but it's not the straight line that's gonna, when you ride fast, it's not about riding fast on a straight line. It's about when that turn comes.
Yeah.
And how are you gonna handle that turn?
I mean, it's just like a heartbeat, our pulse goes up and down, and it's just like you have to listen to your heartbeat, I think, Like that's the time, that's the most important time that will define you as a person, or what kind of individual you are. I mean, if you can go with it, make it like, you got through it, and like, it totally depends on the person, I mean, that's life too, right? Like it has its turns, and like, life is the greatest teacher, I think,
Yeah.
I mean, and, I just look up to life. I think, life is beautiful and everything, there's so much thing to enjoy and rejoice in life, so that's what I'm more concerned about, living good life and, doing the best I could do in my life, and meanwhile loving what I love to do,
Yeah.
and keeping the pace and doing, my best in the career, and,
What lies ahead? What do you want to do?
I think, I want to do so many things, I think like my hobbies and interests like change all the time.
You're 25, man. It's completely cool.
Yeah, totally. Like, I mean, there's so many things I'd like to do. At some point, like, I was thinking about surfing and stuff too, that's also such a cool thing to do. When I was young, we used to like skateboard a little bit, like kind of used to do simple riding, no tricks and stuff. But you know, skateboarding is a way of life too. So, but rather than that, like you know, I ride motorcycle too and stuff at times. You know, and you know, changes all the time. Like I, you know, just try to keep myself busy doing things and exploring. You know.
Yeah. And wherever you travel, I'm sure you get a bit of that place as well.
Yeah.
When you come back home, you just soak in a little bit
Yeah,
of that
you
place
take
as
it
well.
with you. You know, it's just like you take it with you. It's like you leave now. You know, you think about it later. You know.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of are you gonna experiment with music down the road? What do you have in mind?
With the music too, like I think experiment. You know, I think that's the fun thing about music. You know, it's like as long as you can do experiment, it will be still an interesting thing to do. You know, and for me, that's the way it is. You know, and yeah, definitely, I think there is some more experimental things to do in music for me in the future.
Uh, who helps you write the English songs or Nepali songs? Do you do it all by
I just write
yourself?
it. Yeah, I just write it all by myself. Till now, I've been just doing. I've been writing all the songs by myself, making, pretty much composing and arranging it all by myself. Yeah, but I've had like on the record before, and I've had some people like in producers help and arrange stuff and things.
Do you want to work with anybody here? Do you have specific people in mind?
No, I mean, I think there's a few people, I want to work with in some, for the future, and I think I'm still thinking about it. I'm
Yeah.
still planning about it.
Do you want to work with somebody internationally? People
Yeah,
who
they-
who you're friends with?
I mean, there are so many great producers in the world, right? And I mean, at some point, I think I'd definitely love to try, and work with some producers. I don't have, any specific person in the name, person or name, but yeah, definitely there are like, few producers I would try to work with in the future.
Yeah, man, sure. Again, off air we were talking about, right? I wanna come, and of course I'm gonna come see your gigs. I wanna go.
Yeah,
whenever I'm in the
definitely,
US, I definitely wanna go and see John Mayer. Maybe we could do that together whenever he comes to
Oh yeah,
your
I mean,
city.
oh yeah, hopefully it does, at some point, and yeah, it'll be a nice thing to do.
I love that guy, man. That guy has
Yeah,
got
I
some
think
good music too.
he's pretty good and amazing.
What kind of music do you listen to? Who do you listen to now?
Oh, I listen to like so many artists. I think I listen to more like I have like some few. There's so many artists. Like there is for naming. I think all kinds of. I just go back and forth from artists. I used to listen to new artists. Then I discover another new artist.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just becomes a point about that. Yeah, but I try to listen to all kind of music. I think that
Yeah.
kind of still inspires me, like to make music. I
Yeah.
think I mean that's the important thing about listening.
I think Robin Dai called me. You met Robin Dai,
Oh yeah, while I was coming back from Dubai to KTM, yeah, we met in the airport.
Yeah, I think he called me back. I called him, and I think
Yeah.
he called me. No, he's a gem of a guy, man. I love his, and we're listening to his songs. He's a gem of a guy, man. You met him?
Yeah, I met him on the airport. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was pretty cool experience.
He's a lovely man, man. He's a lovely man, and we can learn so much.
Oh
from
yeah,
him.
I grew up like when I grew up like I listened to some of his songs. Like I think yeah, definitely Cobwave. From it was named Robin and the New Revolution and Catch 22, Mukti and Revival. Some of these bands. Then I think was a thing to listen to. And music I listened.
Yeah, man.
I just had some people, brothers and stuff like listening to this music, and so I got to listen to it.
These bands and people were the inspiration when you were growing up.
I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, in a way, I think definitely, in a way.
Now, to a lot of friends, Dibesh, like a lot of young people, like I told you earlier, want to start off through a reality show.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't have to be American
Yeah.
Idol. It can be Nepal Idol.
Yeah.
You know, or it can be The Voice, or
Yeah,
it could be another show. You know, there's so many different shows. What do you like to say to them? Is it a good way to get started from a reality show, to give it a shot and compete?
I mean, it's on them. It's not about, you know. I mean, yeah, if they want to go ahead and, you know, do it, like, I think they should go for it, you know. But, like, that doesn't mean you have to do it, you know, you have to try reality show or stuff. Like, you can, you know, however you feel about it, you know, it depends. At the end, you have to live with your decisions, right? Like, you are the one who's going through it, you know. But, I mean, I could only give advice, you know, but... I mean, if you feel like it, that's your way to do it, you know,
Yeah.
I think, and you can do it, and you want that experience, then, you know, maybe you think, maybe that should be a thing you can give a try, you know. But if not, you can just, like, make your own music and, you know, establish by, you know, from the starting and, like, do it by yourself and stuff. Like, I mean, that's a good approach, too. There's, like, all these kinds of different roads, you know. Life is full of different roads. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like to go ahead and, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Like your mom and dad and your sisters were very supportive.
Yeah.
What do you like to go ahead and say to mom and dad of friends who want to be aspiring artists, you know, or their siblings? What do you like to go ahead and say to them?
I mean, that's, you know, I think that's the point I wouldn't, you know, go to. Like, you know, I wouldn't, you know, tell someone's parents to do something with their kids, you know, because,
Maybe support them?
yeah, maybe that's a good thing to do, maybe, you know, support them and, like, you know, yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Like you were saying, right? Without your parents' support, you wouldn't have.
I mean,
it
you
would
know,
have
I
been
think,
tough.
yeah, I think I got lucky on that one. You know, they didn't pressure me so much to
Yeah.
do certain things, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I got to choose my own way in a way, right? Like, I could be engineer, you know, but, like, I chose to do music. But, and doing music and playing music is not an easy way, and it's not an easy lifestyle, you know, because you have to get away from your family and stuff. Like, at times, you know, you have to be on the road, you have to travel here and there, you know. That's not like what normally people would live like, or, you know, I don't know if people want to or can too, you know.
Yeah.
But that's why it's not an easy life, you know. But if you want to if you can keep up with it, and, you know, if that's what you really want to do, then I think, you know, for me, like, you know, I choose it. I think I choose
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not an easy lifestyle, but I choose it. But I still, you know, I'm close with my family, you know. Meanwhile, while I'm not playing music, you know, I spend time with them, you know. So,
Yeah.
like, that's the time we get to still reconnect and stuff. So, you know,
Yeah, man.
that's how it goes, you know. It's
Yeah, man.
sad but true, you know.
Totally, man. Next time you come, we're gonna plan a motorcycle ride, and you can
Cool.
ride my 400cc Dominar,
All right, yeah, cool.
and then I'll get another 400cc
I mean, I
Dominar.
think, you know, what we have a saying there, you know, you don't ride another man's bike, you know.
I
Stuff.
can ride mine.
Yeah, thanks for the offer.
All right, we're gonna go for a ride, man, for sure. Or maybe
Cool.
once you finish all the gigs, you have one in Platinum, which by the time we release this has already finished, and people have already enjoyed, had fun.
Yeah.
You have one in Prive, then you have one in Butwal, you have
Yes,
one
yes.
in Pokhara,
Yeah, Pokhara.
Rolling Stones, I believe,
Yes.
and then you have one in Chitwan.
Lime and lemon.
Lime and lemon in Chitwan, right?
Yeah,
You
yes.
have that, and then Purple Haze, man.
Yeah,
Let's throw
we're
that
still
in there.
working on it. We're still working on it. Hopefully it'll happen.
Man, bro, this is your home. Come back any day. All right. Oh, there you go. Come back. Let's hold on. Let me say it to everybody. 20th August Platinum, 24th Lime and Lemon, 26th Rolling Stones, 31st Lord in Butwal, if I'm not mistaken, and then hopefully Purple Haze, and hopefully do a free gig for or a gig for friends somewhere else A surprise gig, maybe. You know, you never
Oh,
know.
I mean, yeah, we are, you know. I mean, all of these are surprise gigs. You know, all of these are surprise gigs.
I'm super excited, man.
Yeah.
Anything you want to go ahead and say to all the friends who are listening to us right now?
Yeah, please, you know, if you want to, if you can make it to one of these shows, you know, please do come in, and you know, we are all here for it to play, you know, music for all of you people. So, and you know, I hope you'll enjoy it, and you know, we'll try our best to give good gig, you know, and rather than that, you know, I think keep on keeping on, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bro, best wishes from our side.
Thank you.
This is your home. Come back anytime, and
Yes,
we'll definitely go for a ride, man.
All right. Yeah.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been nice, and thank you for inviting on your podcast. You know.
Come back anytime. This is your home, bro.
Yep. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yes.
If you love what we are doing, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications. This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.